Stand for the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everybody to the Tuesday, January 6th, 2026, the first meeting of the year, the Porter County Board of Commissioners. We'll start out by, for those of you that are not familiar with the protocol at the beginning of the year, is we start out with reorganizing our board, and we're really flipping it this year. So we're gonna look a little bit different. We're gonna sound the same, but we're gonna look a little different. We'll start with president. I would like to nominate Ed Morales as board president. We have a motion for Ed Morales to be president and a second of support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Here you go. That's a hard throw, work all day. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Nomination for Vice President. I nominate Barb Riggins as Vice President of the Porter County Board of Commissioners 2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by aye.
Aye. I move that we appoint Jim Rick to the Secretary.
I'm not seconding my own appointment. I'll second that. Thank you. All those in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. County Attorney, I'd like to motion to reappoint Scott McClure. Scott, the name of your law firm?
Ray Melvin McClure.
There you go.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Consent agenda, Melanie?
Approval of payroll, December 19th and January 2nd, 2025. Approval of claims, December 11th, 17th, and 18th, 2025. Approval of minutes, December 9th, 2025. Weights and measures monthly report, October 16th, 25 through November 15th, 2025.
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Announcements, we have award bids for the following Highway Department 2026 supplies. Mr. Blair.
Good morning. As what we would recommend for the following bids that were opened a month ago, limestone accept all bids due to the multiple options in each bid. Slag, we recommend Mutual Board, we were the only bidder. We did not receive any bids for pavement marking and stripings, no bids for equipment rental. Calcium chloride, we recommend Great Lakes Chloride, they were the only bidder. Diesel fuel, the sheet I supplied just shows the breakdown as far as fixed margin, and Triple J MAR is the lowest, so we recommend approving Triple J MAR for the diesel fuel bid. Unleaded gasoline, we did not receive any bids.
Can I stop right? Scott, would it be better we take these one by one and vote on them separately?
I think you could maybe group them up in a couple at a time.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Unleaded gasoline, no bids. Culverts and guardrails, accept all bids due to the multiple options. So the culverts and guardrails, it all depends on the size. One vendor is cheaper for one size, one vendor is cheaper for the other, and then also the availability as far as when they can get them to us.
We've always done it this way.
Yeah. So that's our recommendation.
We just move to accept his recommendations.
You can.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Did you want to talk about salt now, or do you want to do that later?
So we can do salt now.
Okay. I emailed you all last week and spoke with each individually. As I informed you, we go off the NDOT bid. as far as purchasing our salt, and we've always just bid 7,000, or agreed to buy 7,000 tons. We have to purchase a minimum of 80% of the bid, and we can purchase up to 120% of the bid. And right now, we are already taking delivery of 3,300 tons, and we still have 3 months of winter left. So we need to start rationing that salt. The last thing we want to do is go over at 120% and find out that we got to go on the open market to try and find it.
Would you define rationing?
That's what I get to. So what we recommend is that in certain areas, we start cutting back on the amount of salt. The first one would be subdivisions. If subdivisions, we go in, salt the intersection, hills, or curves, or if there's a bridge, we would salt the bridges. As far as the main stretches of the subdivision, if there's no hills, curves, or bridges, we would not salt that. We would let Mother Nature take care of that. The next area would be on straight line county roads. Obviously, we would do curves, intersections, and bridges. But there are some county roads that do not receive a lot of traffic, where we can go down every third or fourth telephone pole, hit a spot of salt, so the cars can drag it. Now, there are main roads, obviously, that need salt all the time, 100 South, Division, Smoke, Calumet, Meridian, those. We would still need to salt those the whole way, so that's what we recommend on that.
Well, Jim, what would be the alternative if commissioners didn't like that plan?
Keep doing what we're doing and hope we don't run out of salt. If we run out of salt, then we're in trouble.
So, Jim, let's say that even if we do ration, you still have to go out to the open market. What's the differential in price between what was negotiated at the state versus what you
A
had?
few years back, before I came in here, they forgot to get on the state bid, and they ended up paying $25 extra a ton on the open market for the salt. And it's all supply and demand. Obviously, you get later in March, you try going on the open market, the price is going to go up because the supply is down.
But even what's available to us from the state bid, if we were to go to that 120% mark, we're talking something north of $600,000 that we're
Correct.
expecting salt.
I'll be sending you an additional appropriation and sending it to the council, also asking for another $200,000 of salt, which will allow us to purchase up to the maximum that we get from the state bid. And then that puts us over $620,000.
So we're getting the ice and not so much snow. That's the
Correct.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All it takes, one ice event, and you'll go through 1,500 tons of salt in one morning.
What is the forecast looking like, Jim? Have they changed it at all going forward?
February and March, they're calling for below temperatures and above average precipitation.
So we're looking
at ice.
So we're looking at ice. In January, they're saying it's going to be drier than normal, so.
I think your plan is a good one. I think it's cautious that, we don't want to run out of salt because we don't have, right now, we don't have the money to buy up on the open market additional salt.
Correct.
So, and in addition to that, we're doing an additional appropriation just to meet.
Just so we can purchase the maximum amount of right through the state.
Okay, do we need a motion? Do we have a motion to approve this?
I move that we approve the highway superintendent's plan for salt rationing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Jim. Okay. Next item, appointments to the following boards.
Okay, Scott, do we vote on these one by one?
You can do one by one, or you can do them in groups.
All right, I move that we approve Phil Peck for reappointment for the Alcohol and Beverage Board. I also move that we reappoint Linda Boxon for Board of Health, as well as appointing Amanda Borowski-Alanis to the Board of Health. And I move that we approve Pamela Mishler-Fish for Board of Zoning.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Okay, I move that we approve Rich Riley for reappointment to the Convention and Visitors Commission and appoint George Topple as a new appointment to that board. Also move that we appoint Chuck Harris and Megan Wisniewski for reappointment to the opioid committee, and that we reappoint Brian Wiseman to Parks and Recreation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
For planning commission, I move that we reappoint Bob Giliana and we appoint Neil Arvid Merkner. For payroll, I recommend, or a motion that we reappoint Nancy Galassa and Linda Zyla. And for recycling and waste reduction, we reappoint Jim Tom.
Just to be clear, we're appointing Mr. Giliana and Mr. Berger to the planning commission.
Planning commission.
Good, second.
Yes, second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
For redevelopment commission, I move that we reappoint both Jason Giliana and Bill Herring. For stormwater advisory board, I move that we appoint Ed Spinopoulos. And for West Porter Fire, I move that we reappoint Greg Pelkowski and that we appoint Nicholas Beggars.
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, commissioners, for stormwater, I would be reappointed to that board, and I would also like to nominate Mike Brickner as my proxy. For community corrections, Jim Litz. For juvenile justice, Ed. For redevelopment commission, Ed. For child protection, Jim. Center for workforce innovation, me. For nursing, Jim. Planning commission, Ed. EMA, Ed. 911, Jim. And opioid committee, Barb.
Second.
Good, second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, a legal service agreement between the Porter County Board of Commissioners and Raymond Elwood and McClure.
I move that we approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Mr. Michael Simpson. I don't think he's here.
Mike, would you like to come up, Doug? I'll give the board some insight on what the request is here.
Yes, historically, we've been approached to deal with Murrayville Road. That's a road between US 30 on the industrial park to the north of the airport. It skirts around the west end of the airport. Back in the day, when the airport probably was expanded, that road was built, there was annexation. The road never got annexed by the city of Valparaiso, so it still to this day remains, even though at both ends of the road, the roads are in the city of Valparaiso. The road has some waviness to it. It's certainly a highway superintendent, highway engineer have noticed that. Something's going on underneath that roadway somewhere. It's not just going to be a simple fix of milling out 1.5 inches or even milling out 3 inches and replacing it. We're just covering up the festering soil. So I'm anticipating Mr. Simpson, because he is in the TOA for the Eastport Center, which is the industrial park north of there, has requested us, when our schedule of the county, when we're going to repave that road. Now, last year we did approach the city of Valparaiso to see if they would like to accept that into their inventory, and we could fix it up to a liking. I think at that time they said no. I reapproached the city of Valparaiso last year. They're thinking about it. If we were to do that, we'd have to bring the road up to some kind of standard, but as you are all aware, we've got almost 800 miles of road. Everybody's got its place in order and line. To do a road such as that, I would only be guessing what the cost would be. Pretty significant, because you'd be ripping out the entire road, probably getting into the subbase. So it could be $300,000, $600,000 for that stretch of road to repair it, and that's just a mess.
Isn't it exacerbated by the fact that the city thought we owned it and we thought the city owned it?
I think
And so
that's the lore, yeah. I think for many years, each entity thought the other one had it.
And as a result, nobody was maintaining it, so that is why it is in the state of disrepair that it is.
That was a contributing factor, but I still contend there's something going on. The road is perched real high. It's not like it's suffering from water because it's got nice ditches on either side. So something's going on with that road. And we'd have to hire a geotech engineer to do exploration environmentally. But I know the request, that even when I was at the city, the 3 years of the city, to ask the city about it, and that's when I found out it was still in the county. And we brought it to the county's attention. The county's looked at it over the last 3 or 4 years, and again, it's got to compete against all the other roads in the district. We don't have so many dollars we can spend on the road. It's not to say that we're not interested, and it's not to say we hope to have a plan for it someday. It's probably not in the cards this year, I can be safe to say. Any questions?
No, I know that road is, yeah, there's gotta be, like you said, Mike, something underneath the subsoil. It's got quite a way, so that would be a complete restoration.
That's what we're kind of thinking. Hopefully not, but we'll have to get professionals out there to get it done.
Perfect, thank you, Mike.
Is there any opportunity for grants for that road?
Well, as you know, effective last December, when they made the awards for community crossings, there was a lot of disappointment. Funds are going to be less. The county's elected not to do a wheel tax, so therefore we're not going to get hands on more money like that. We can always we always got our ears up looking for grant money, so if there's an opportunity, we'll certainly go after it.
And I think Mr. Blair was hoping that we might be able to do something with this road last year.
It was on the list and considered, and we had to make some serious cuts because all we got was just a little over 1.5 million from the council for budget done. Going into the next few years, we're getting a little more money. But still, it has not risen to the top. Anything else?
Anything else?
So, just from your perspective, how do we move this up on the priority list?
Well, again, like we said, we evaluate all the roads every 2 years, and we rate every road, and so we rate almost 800 miles of our roads, and it kind of stacks up. The problem when you run across projects like these, you're thinking you're going to repave, or you're going to go into a subdivision and pave, or you're going to do crack sealing and all that. Those are, relatively speaking, very less costly items. You get a project or two like this that invades your paving area with the budget commitments we have, it pretty much puts a big dent in what you can do. So we have to be judicious, we've got to pick the right time, we've got to have the right money. So the next 2 years, the council has pledged $5 million. And we hope to use that wisely, hopefully it'll come to the top. They did pay for this year.
Well, I think you touched on it, Mike. I mean, if you look at traffic count and the overall condition of that road compared to the condition of other county roads that we're responsible for, that doesn't make the top 10 list. I mean, that's really the bottom line here. We got a certain number of dollars to work with, and they're all rated out. That's how we determine what gets the attention first. And honestly, I was just on that road the other day. No, it's not perfect, but I can show you 50 roads in unincorporated Porter County that are much worse.
That's the problem with the system. If you go tackle all your worst roads up front, that means for every road you do, 7 to 10 roads that are in good shape all of a sudden have slipped into worse shape.
Right.
So it's a delicate balance we must make to make sure we're keeping that balance, because to invest that kind of money. So to answer your question, maybe we make an appeal to the council yet again this year or next for additional incremental money if we can't find a grant.
Well,
We're just not geared for that right now.
I mean, I personally like to see before we make any commitment to, a $500,000 or $1 million project, especially on county roads, is that something's done, we do something on our end to find out, as best we can, what's the problem? Because we could be talking a $2 million problem. You've seen it happen. We get into that sub-base and it's gone or it's worthless, and
I think we could get that effort to hire a professional geotech engineer, at least do that part for us, and then we know what we're dealing with.
That's what I
think that's a good idea.
That's what I
At least know what we're dealing with.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Thank you, Mike.
you're welcome.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks. Okay, next on the agenda, Approval of emergency board up service location list. Completed applications as follows. Confirmed and a board up plus. Ms. Debbie Gunn, would you like to say anything on these two, or?
I don't know much about either, but if
But these are the only two that apply.
as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, these two applied, and through the process with Melanie, and went through the background checks, got all the paperwork in, and all the I's dotted, so these are the two that would go on the rotation for 2026.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. A cooperative funding and development agreement between the Porter County Convention, Recreation and Visitors Commission and the Porter County Board of Commissioners on behalf of the promotion and development of each of the following: Porter County Board of Parks and Recreation, Porter County Expo Center, and Porter County Museum.
I move that we approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. A resolution to transfer Shadowwood Pond property to Portage.
So this is a resolution by the commissioners that would convey the property as listed on the resolution itself, which I believe is a drainage pond that's currently unowned. This would have the commissioners providing the property to the city of Portage. The city of Portage would then have to follow all the statutory guidelines and legal process in order to get the tax deed itself. I believe the city of Portage reached out through Commissioner Biggs and request on this particular drainage pond, which started the process of the both cities having similar or matching ordinances. The commissioners would be to provide that property to the city, with the city being responsible for following through with the tax deed process.
Any questions?
What project?
Which project?
What project is doing this now?
The city, I believe, located a problem drainage pond and subdivision and attempting to figure out who was responsible for it. They realized the ownership was in question, had gone through the tax sale process, commissioner sale process. No one owned it. They reached out to Commissioner Biggs and figured out a way to have them be able to gain control over the property itself so that they could effectuate whatever maintenance needed to be done for the pond.
In other words, if we turn over the ownership of that property, they're able to go in on property and fix whatever's wrong.
I move that we approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Skillman projects.
Good morning together.
How are you?
Good.
We can do these all together, Scott.
On the jail, these pay apps, yes, you can do 1 through 4 together.
Would you mind going through?
Yes. Corellis Roofing, pay app number 11 in the amount of $199,539.33. Number 2 is Pauling Jail Building, pay app number 4 in the amount of $22,369.29. Number 3 is Pauling Jail Building, pay app number 5 in the amount of $120,906.61. Number 4 is Pauling Jail Building, pay app number 6 in the amount of $90,045.71.
I move that we approve items 1 through 4 under the jail for Skillman projects.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Highway.
Highway, 2 through 8 are pay applications. The first one, number 1 here, is Culligan Ultra-Pure. We'd like to get a softener for the county's request in the amount of $4,228 from Culligan, which is within our budget and based on the hard water in that area, helping. So,
I move that we approve.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Number 2 is Gary Construction, pay app number 13 in the amount of $358,230.75. Number 3 is Staines Painting, pay app number 5 in the amount of $16,625. Number 4 is Kleckner Interior Systems, pay app number 10 in the amount of $16,035.47. Number 5 is Hill Fire Protection pay app number 8 in the amount of $6,710.34. Number 6 is Bloomfield Mechanical pay app number 11 in the amount of $3,745.79. Number 7 is Circular Mechanical pay app number 16 in the amount of $11,900.65. Circular Electric pay app number 12 in the amount of $22,645.39.
I move that we approve items 2 through 8 under highway Gilman projects.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Facilities Department, Ms. Kubaki.
Where's the new tie?
So you look like you lost weight too.
No, no more.
You and Jim can stand out front and direct traffic with that tie and shirt.
Wow. How you guys like the breakfast?
No, I like it.
You look good. Okay, we have this Western Specialty Contractor, final pay app number 2 in the amount of $7,054.60.
Move that we approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. JDC. We have mechanical concepts, a proposal for the plumbing in the old laundry room in the amount of $2,945 to be paid from the 2024 bond project.
I move that we approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Cobra Services, an estimate for drop ceiling grid and pads in the amount of $4,253.64 to be paid for the 2024 bond project.
I move that we approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Berkeley Construction, pay app number 2 in the amount of $9,553.05. Let's do all this, yeah. Berkeley Construction, pay app number 3 in the amount of $10,606.95. Mechanical Concepts, pay app number 1 in the amount of $54,990. And Mechanical Concepts, pay app number 2 in the amount of $58,500.
I move that we approve pay apps under items 3 through 6 under the JDC.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. E911, thank you.
Thank you.
E911,
I like to try.
Debbie Gunn.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
And this is for the Eventide Next Log DX, an agreement to upgrade the 911 communications logging recorder and replace their current NICE system.
Yes, we have been under contract with NICE, which is a logging system that records all of our phone calls and radio data, and that's expiring this year. And so I've done some research on what I felt was a better product, more cost efficient, as well as it provides some really appealing additional features, and it's even higher. And so just to give you a little kind of a window into what we're looking at, our NICE logger system, the procurement and implementation, this was back in 2019, was $141,000 some odd dollars. The yearly maintenance cost from that time forward was $292,827. Total cost of $433,900. Eventide will provide all of the functionality that NICE did, and the implementation cost $160,260, and then the maintenance cost total $79,570. So that brings the total of a 5-year project to $239,831. Significant cost savings. Additional features, we have advanced analytics reporting, which was very important to me because it's going to give us accurate details regarding the metrics for the ambulance, some of the ambulance metrics that we're looking at this year. That was a primary goal for me. We have a Windows screen reporting, which now we're going to have an integration with our CAD. So we'll be able to further analyze any type of situation that may be going on with specific calls. And then we also have a quality assurance component in which our current quality assurance will integrate with this software, so we don't have to pull data and import it into a different disparate software system. It'll be all in one, which will significantly decrease FOIA request time.
What happens after 5 years?
We have that was actually what I'd like to discuss with you. I had received a quote back in the fall, and I kind of waited. I was unsure what was going to happen with one, a lit tax increase or else a surcharge increase. Neither of those happened. So if we go with the option that I'm suggesting based on my budget projection, it would be a 60-month, $1 buyout lease option with 5 annual payments. We will have the option after that to purchase the equipment that we lease essentially over the course of 5 years. That money is already in my budget. It's been budgeted, so there's nothing that I need to go forward with the council for. The other option is a cost savings of over the course of 5 years, about $34,000. However, I would need to have an additional from the surcharge, which I don't have now to please those funds primarily. So I think the best option looking forward is the 60-month, $1 buyout lease option. I had provided some data when I initially gave you my proposal, but it has decreased slightly. Those yearly costs are down about $100 based on the rates that I was quoted yesterday.
I move that we approve the agreement to upgrade the 911 communications water recorder system to Eventide Maxwell DX.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
And once this is all plugged in and operational, can you come back to the commissioners later this year and tell us what you think?
Absolutely.
All right, thanks.
Yes.
Okay, next, EMA, Mr. Lance Bella, Director. How are you, sir?
How are you?
You have an enterprise fleet management or request to lease a 2026 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD, which will be equipped with emergency lighting, sirens, antennas, magnet holder, and microphone, etc. from Bartronics. It will also have a backflip MX4 Gen 3, which will be supplied by class chassis. The lease amount will be $1,071.27 per month. Asking you to use Commissioner's CDC Fund O motor vehicle account.
This was a lease that we replaced a vehicle that was costing the county more than the maintenance. And it was a 5-year lease, so we're 10 months past the 5-year lease. So we were just trying to renew that with the replacement vehicle.
Well, I know it's needed. I know we have money. So I make the motion that we approve it.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Kristen's here.
This is just extending the lease,
Yeah.
short term.
It is every year.
Scott, do you want to just explain what this is?
This is an extension, I believe, a 6-month extension for the Porter County Convention, Recreation, and Visitor Centers with the federal government or the General Service Administration. This is a 6-month extension. I don't believe of any change to the underlying terms as they continue to negotiate a longer-term contract.
I move that we approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Expo Center, Lord Daly.
She's not here. She did call me. She has some other commitments that I told her wasn't necessarily necessary. We're just basically renewing what we approved last year, so.
2026 catering agreements, Aberdeen Manor, Capos, Martinis, McGowan and Sons, Mission Barbecue, Mustache Lilies, Nelson's, Sullins, and Susie's.
I move that we approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have another one here at the bottom, 2026 concessions agreement, Big D's Eats, Big Mike's Food Truck, Butter and Grace, Dr. Dog, Mustache Lily, Sullins, Susie's, and Kate's Place.
Move that we approve.
Second. It's not your food truck, is it?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Mr. Gable.
Good morning, Commissioners. First two items will maybe have to be dealt with individually, but they're at the same place. The last meeting, we had first reading and public hearing on the vacation of a portion of County Road 175 South right-of-way immediately west of State Road 49. This was platted many years ago. The road was never built. Recommendation of the Planning Commission is to approve the vacation.
I move that we approve that ordinance on second reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The one you just passed is on the south side of this property line. This will be on the north side of the property line. Both properties, both south and north, are owned by the same person, or the same entity. Same thing. This is just on the north side of the line.
I move that we approve the ordinance on second reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
As you're aware, early last year, or the end of 2024, we got a grant to replace every roadway sign within unincorporated Porter County. Consultants worked very hard to get it done quickly, going out to bid this quarter. What we need now is an inspection contract, because this is federal money, so we have to put an inspector out here. We did advertise for letters of interest from consultants that are certified by NDOT to do this kind of work. I believe we had a total of 5 or 6 submittals. It became clear that DOT Indiana LLC was the top-rated score of this. And before you then, therefore, we're asking, 1, to confirm the selection, and 2, we have a contract from DOT Indiana LLC for an amount of $149,050, not to exceed. It's not quite 10%, but it's something less, but out of pocket will not be all of that much.
Can I just ask you, they're just inspecting signs that are being replaced? Why is it so expensive?
The project is about $1.5 million to begin with, just to do the signs.
But it's not, I understand what Bar's saying, but it's not a case of just saying, okay, there's a sign, needs to be replaced. I mean, they're looking at what the soil the sign's in, where it's placed in the intersection, make sure it's placed properly. So they're looking at a lot of things.
Well, in addition to that, there's a lot of record keeping, because it is federal money. You have to record every material record, every quantity, you have to measure.
Yeah, that's the other point, is the federal requirement. That's why, you drive through anybody's county, you'll see bridges, some bridges that you look at, man, that almost looks overbuilt. Well, it probably was, because it was federal money.
Yes and no, because if it crosses the stream, we have to look at it.
Yeah, it sounds like
Sounds like an engineer.
I'll motion to approve.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And we have an ordinance for a zoning map amendment of Unified Development Ordinance Petitioner, C. Matthew, located in northeast corner of County Road 55 South and County Road 450 West, Porter Township, from a Greenway District to a rural residential. First reading.
Go ahead, sir.
Go ahead.
Planning Commission forwarded this with unanimous favorable recommendation to allow the rezoning. The brief history of this is, many years ago, this property was owned by Waterfowl USA, which was a nonprofit group that bought land all over the United States.
How much acreage is it?
The request today is 5 acres, but before it was 80 acres. And how it got to be Greenway, because it was a voluntary request. That when Waterfowl USA did it, all they wanted to do was conserve the land for wildlife and the flora and the fauna. They went bankrupt, and they had to dispose of the properties, and then it became in private hands, and eventually became into Sean Matheny's father and mother. They got the 80 acres. During the process, they carved off and parceled out 5 acres for their son, sitting right there. Our UDO, or Unified Development Ordinance, does allow, with a special exception, use to build a house, but it's very restricted, meaning it's there for the purpose of tending and caring for the greenway. They could have gone that way, but optionally, they chose to rezone the 5 acres to rural residential, which is consistent with what's around it, so that they could then go through the process. They'll still have to do the 1 acre subdivision, but then they can get their building permits, build a house, accessory structures, et cetera. So it is our recommendation that the commissioners hold a public hearing today for first reading, and our planning commission recommends favorable.
I'll motion to approve.
We have to go until it's the first reading.
Oh, it's the first.
So we're going to close the commissioners' meeting, we're going to open up the zoning meeting. Is there anybody here that would like to speak in favor of this change? Second, is there anybody here who would like to speak in favor of this change? Okay, third time, is there anybody that would like to speak in favor of this change? Is there anybody that would like to speak against this change? Second, is there anybody that would like to go against this change? And third, is there anybody that would like to go against this change? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to close that meeting, go back to the commissioners' meeting.
If I might, just for the record, it didn't get stated publicly, but this is Sean Beanie, located northeast corner of County Road 55 South and County Road 450 West, Porter Township.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. See you next month.
Thank you, sir.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year yourself. Valparaiso Family YMCA. How are you? And you have a request to host the annual ringing and spring race to be held Saturday, April 4th, 2026, at 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. The race will start and finish on Cumberland Drive by the YMCA Pavilion.
I move that we approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank
Hope
you.
you have a wonderful day for your race.
You too.
Okay, I have one thing before we get any other business. We have discussed amongst the commissioners to create a South County Fire Feasibility Committee. And this committee is going to look into the situation that we have with the West Porter Township Fire District and come up with some possible new solutions to maybe upgrade that situation so that it can become viable again. And what we would like to do is put together a committee. We would like to have roughly 9 members of that committee. Anyone with fire experience or community experience in this situation, we would welcome to apply.
Do we want staff to put together some sort of...
Yes, could you put together some type of guidelines, if you will, Scott, or, application process, or?
So similar to what we did, I think, with the opioid committee.
Yes.
We put it together in a resolution and then followed through with
Yeah.
that. I can put that together.
And have that ready for our next meeting, because sooner we get moving on this, the better it's gonna be. One other thing I wanted to run past our board is, organization and direction is gonna be really important with this. I spoke with Mike Jago, who is a South County resident. Mike was a volunteer fireman for years. Works for the county, of course, and I think his organizational skills are very good. He's agreed he would sit on there as the chair. They would report back to the commissioners, and that is my recommendation to make part of the resolution if the board agrees.
I like that idea, and can I work with Scott then on filling out what that committee is going to look like, who from what
Yes,
parts of the...
yes.
community interest.
I'm fine with that. Any motion for that?
Yes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, any other matter which may properly come before the Board of Commissioners? Anybody have any comments?
You've done a great job.
It's going to take me a couple of meetings, but we'll get it done. Anybody? Nothing? Hearing none? Okay, we will recess this meeting. We'll reconvene January 27th, 10 a.m. Thank you.